This is an interview I did with Stuntbrat, who is a Hollywood stunt person that has been hanging out with us on the channel and is very much a big part of the community. And I'm so honored to be able to have the opportunity to interview her. And I hope that you will enjoy this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today, we're going to have so much fun because we have one of our favorite people here who is always in the chat, our friend Stuntbrat777. And she is here. Good to see you.
Hi, my sweet retro girl and chat. I love you guys.
Oh my goodness, so good to see you. Now, everybody bear with us. There is a echo and we tried to fix it. We've been through so much to get Stunt Brat here, and it has just been so crazy. And so I want to say thank you so much for everything you've been trying to do behind the scenes to make sure to be with us today. This is really a lot of fun, and we love having you around. You're just amazing.
Thank you, sweetie.
Yes,
I love your channel, and I love you guys for years now. So this is the first time I've been on screen in like 20 years.
Wow.
I'm a little nervous.
Oh, don't be. You're amongst friends here. You've been with us for years now. I mean, you've been, I would say, what, 3 years almost, like just hanging out with us, and definitely been so supportive. And your stories that you've been telling us in the chat about your experiences in Hollywood has just been like, oh wow. We're always astounded by it. Now we could get to talk to you a little bit about it. Now we are going to be watching the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids later on. Stunt, like, how did you tell me, like, how did you get into hanging out on YouTube? Like, how did you get involved with like all the different channels that you were watching, and we saw you on all those different channels and get to hang out over here with us?
Well, there was just, I don't know much about tech, so all I was doing was watching YouTube shows, and I saw the chat, and I just, tried it, and it worked, and I guess I don't know. I guess different ones, just small movie chats. That's all I'm on. Small movie
Yeah.
chats. I don't do any social media, and I guess you must have popped up, and I loved your channel, and was just like, yeah, this is great. But I honestly did think you were younger than my kids, honestly. Yeah.
Wow.
And they're like 30, So.
Oh wow. Well, yes. On screen, I suppose, and I think in real life I really look more my age. But thank you, I appreciate the compliments, and yourself as well. You look really, really young.
Thank you so
Can't
much. I'm a
believe that
boomer.
you're.
Yeah, I'm an old broad.
You look fantastic, and
Oh, thank
thank you
you.
so much again for taking the time to hang out with us. I just wanted to dive into the comments really quick. Keith E was telling us earlier, Hooper, that's what he's calling brat snacks in the lobby. It's soybeans, expensive chocolate cubes, and other items, as well as CDs from her famous movies.
Love
So
it. He's doing so funny.
yes. And Mark T with a C is here.
Hi, Mark.
How are you, Mark? Oh my God. Let's see. And Keith E says that Hooper is also wearing his bright pink 86XL retro nerd girl t-shirt. Yes, in Barbie pink, and selling to other retro swag in the lobby. Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Yes, those are available on the in the store.
I have my Hello Kitty on. See?
Oh yes. Okay. Hello Kitty is in the house. And let's see who else. Oh, Pam Roar is here. Says hello.
That's my sister.
Virginia.
Hi, Sissy. Hi,
What?
Sissy. That's
Oh,
my sister in Virginia.
oh goodness. Well, hugs from space and and on YouTube. So good to see you. And let's see, Kimberly Ann Hart is with us today. How are you, sweetie? How is it going? You guys, thank you for everybody for being here. And we're gonna have a conversation with Sunbrat about her life as a stunt woman in Hollywood in the 80s and 90s and a little bit in the 2000s, right?
Right.
I know that the echo is there, so please bear with us with it if we can, because it's very, I really think that the conversation we're about to have with Stuntbrat is going to be amazing and a lot of fun. So if we can just ignore the echo, or ignore the man behind the curtain, and we're
And
just
I
going to
can't
keep
hear
going.
the echo, Retro.
I'm going to put up a slideshow of some of the movies that you've been in that's been logged on IMDb. And some things, there's one thing that wasn't logged on, but let's see, here we go.
Oh, yeah, that was where I got my SAG card.
Okay, so tell us how you started, because I think that's sort of the interesting question everybody wants to know is, how did you get started in this?
Well, when I saw Wizard of Oz when I was 4 in black and white, because my parents didn't want to buy a color TV, you know. I said, that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, wow.
Whatever, wherever. And I knew we weren't too far away. My family's from Santa Monica. And I just knew that was what I wanted to do. And then I found out they get paid for that. Oh my gosh, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do it for free. So anyway, I was trying to get my SAG card, which is hard to do. And I met my stunt mentor, Walt Robles, on the beach in Malibu. I had a little aerobic studio at the time, and we became friends. And I visited him on the sets and stuff. And I went, well, this is act. I mean, they're doing stunts, but they are acting. I mean, they're in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And so he had a friend, Gary Kent, who wrote and directed Rainy Day Friends. Isai Morales was in it. Walter played a drug dealer. Yeah. it, then there was another part where it was a hospital corridor where I was doubling a nurse pushing a guy in a wheelchair, Chuck Bale, and Debbie Evans, and I can't remember who the other guy was, but they ran and kind of ran into us in the intersection and tackled us, and we all went sliding down the floor. So I got my SAG card.
Oh, man.
And my good friend Matt from Deranged Visions just sent me a copy of this. He found it somewhere and sent it to me for my birthday, but it's in Russian. But we didn't care. It was so great because I hadn't seen the stunt, you know. So it was cool.
Yeah, and I've never heard of this particular movie. I'm like, what? I need to look at this movie and see it. And if anyone has seen this movie, please leave a comment on what you thought of this movie, because at the same time, while we're admiring Stuntbrat's story, we're gonna be like looking at these movies and kind of recalling our memory of these flicks. So please let me know what you thought of that movie, if you indeed saw it, and if you didn't, also let us know about that too.
I don't think it came out in the theaters.
It didn't. Did it go straight to video?
I think so. It was a very small film. Yeah.
Oh, so this is even better. I mean, you you just made me smile inside, because I'm like, oh, we're discovering something that's like a rare find. So
yeah, it was Gary Kent's. Walter told me it was his 20-year, you know, vision. He wrote it, directed it, and was able to do Walter and me a favor and got me Taft-Hartley into the SAG union. So I was so grateful for that. And from there on, just hit the pavement with my picture and resume, you know, visiting the sets and getting to know, and Walter knew a lot of people too. And just visiting the sets and, you know, trying to let the stunt coordinator see you. And, you know, that's how we got our jobs. It's a very small group within the Screen Actors Guild that hires each other, you know, and looks out for each other too. I was really blessed, you know. The Lord gave me my career, that I really wanted and loved. And I didn't have to deal with the snakes in Hollywood, because we were in a little group. So that was a huge blessing.
Oh, that is so good. Like just the connections of your friends and people who you trust, you know.
And Walter was in this acting class that you wouldn't believe. He was there with Terry Garr, Madeline Kahn, what's his name? Well, anyway, there was a ton of people in there. Jack Nicholson, John Voight, and him and John Voight were roommates when they were both getting started parking cars on Sunset. He's 17 years older than me, so he's got a lot of good stories. And he did a backflip off the Golden Arches, doubling Ronald McDonald, and shattered his heel.
Oh no!
So yeah, he's got a lot of great stories.
And we found this movie.
Oh yeah,
Shy People. What did you have to do for this movie? This was 2 years later.
Yeah, I was early in my career. I doubled Joe Clayburgh. Barbara Hershey was in it, and Don Swayze, Patrick Swayze's brother, and Martha Plimpton. And it was about the Bayou people, and we filmed it in Lafayette, Louisiana. And I had to go in the real swamp with the alligators and water moccasins, and I was so scared. I was very nervous. But basically, Jill Clayburgh is, driving a motorboat through the swamp and hits a stump and gets knocked out of the boat, and that was me.
Oh, okay. So now, since it was 2 years, did you did you just do like smaller gigs where maybe you didn't like, were you training during those 2 years?
Well, Walter trained me, which was awesome. Yeah, in driving and rappelling, he did everything, and he was a very good and safe stuntman. But it takes time to get started and get to be known, and that you do a good job and all that. My second job was Crazy Like a Fox. I was on the back of Walter's motorcycle for that, kind of started doing some easy stuff. And I think it was just kind of sporadic up until about 86 is when I really started working.
Okay.
I got my SAG card in 84.
Oh, okay. So you got your SAG card in 84, and you got your and in 86 you were working on this movie.
Yeah. And I also had gotten a regular job at the Universal Studios tour as, I guess they just call it Universal Studios now, but it was at the Conan Spectacular, huge show with this big rain curtain, and it was amazing. 3,000 people in the audience, and I was Red Sonja. They had pulled these big bodybuilders from Gold's Gym to play Conan and all the bad guys. And that was a 20-minute show that was really, really awesome. Really, very amazing.
I think there's a clip. There's a clip of it on the internet, right? Well, that you sent me a sizzle reel a long time ago,
right?
And so we'll go over that too, because I think that that is really great to see your work. And
me and my fig leaf and my red wig.
So you were so good, though. PCNI says stunt people are part of SAG.
Yeah, SAG at the time it was SAG and AFTRA. Now they've combined, but AFTRA was for TV, most tape shows. I did soap operas and television shows like Crazy Like a Fox, and SAG was for films.
Okay.
And yeah, it's not a stunt union. We just go in, no matter how long you've been in the business, you just go in for the SAG minimum.
Yeah.
Plus residuals and stuff, but you don't get paid higher like the actors do,
Yeah, yeah. And let's go to the next one, which is a movie I've been told to see many, 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 many times, and I can't wait to see it.
That was one of my early ones too. Yeah, I thought I doubled. Well, I doubled I can't remember her name now. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, I worked on that, and um, there was a real pretty gal. She had her hair slicked back, and she was shooting out of a van. Like I stood up through the window of the van and was shooting as it was driving.
Oh,
Mostly.
cool. And let's see, color. You were in colors.
Oh yeah, that was another. I kind of started with the easy ones that they called me for. It was a crowd scene and several stunt people. We just played ourselves.
Oh, cool.
I guess there must have been some explosions or something. Many times they'll put the stunt people in front and then the extras in back.
And Death Spa, which is this is one of those movies.
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember what I did on that. I don't remember.
Yeah, it is just a funny concept altogether. And Marty, what is he says? Those Universal stunt shows were awesome. My kids love them too.
Oh, thanks,
My-
Laura. Yeah,
and
they were pretty cool. The Miami Vice one was playing at the time, and they got paid more than us. They got $50 a show. We got $35 a show.
what? For all the stuff that you guys are doing in that show?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And Conan threw me the sword across the stage one time, and I caught it, but he threw it really hard, and it fell back, came back and flipped me in the eyebrow. And I thought, okay, all right, I'm stunned, I'm okay. And I went to cut this guy's head off next, and he goes, "Did you know you're bleeding?" Blood was rushing down, so they had to shut down the show and everything. They weren't really stuntmen, they were bodybuilders at Gold's Gym, no doubt on steroids, I'm guessing, and I just wanted to get out of there and start doing films. My oldest daughter was about 10 at the time, and I had to support her, so I took, that job came in handy because it was regular,
Yeah,
but
regular gig.
yeah, but praise God, I got to get out of there within, I think I worked there like 9 months from 86 to 87.
Oh, really? Yeah, it is a really spectacular show.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And let's see,
we had a fire-breathing dragon that popped up and really blew fire at us. We had to get our pyrotechnics licenses. And Conan killed him in his throat with a sword. It's a living. Someone has to do it,
Yeah. And what is this? Out of the Dark. I've never seen this one.
Don't see it. It's not. Don't. No. It's not one for me and you, Retro. But my good friend Mike Cassidy, awesome stunt coordinator, he hired me a lot. He hired me on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Beverly Hillbillies and many more. Great stuntman. He doubled Michael Keaton. And this was just a low budget thing. I mostly did motorcycle riding in the rain. They had a rain machine, and I was on the motorcycle and just going with the rain machine. Mostly it was that. I can't remember anything else I did, but yeah. But it's not a good. This bad clown kills people with a baseball bat.
Oh, okay.
So I won't watch it. I told you that I haven't watched it. I've worked on it. I'm too scared, and they're not.
Yeah, and this looks like a thriller.
What's this one called?
I think it's let me see. It's a little small for me. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you what it says.
Dangerous Company.
In Dangerous Company.
Oh, that's Tracy Scoggins. Okay, yeah, and that I think was a TV movie actually, and I'd done aerobics, and so I got hired a lot to do the running for the actresses, because they knew I could, they like up and down stairs and different things. And this was in Long Beach at the loading docks. They were metal graded surfaces in very high heels. And I had to run with. That's a stunt right there, right?
Yeah.
And there was another guy. I think we were holding hands, and then we got to the end of the loading dock, thing, and then there was a car, so we had to jump onto the car and then off, to the next ramp, and I did it with heels
With
somehow.
heels. Oh my God.
And they were
Yes,
high
sir.
too. Yeah, but honestly, my toes when I got home had blood blisters all on my cuticles. Yeah.
Oh God.
So you would think it's not death defying, but some of these stunts were, you know what I mean?
And heels.
Yeah. Sometimes
And how many
they'd
times
hand me
did
the
you?
shoes right before I put on my wardrobe. Last minute they'd hand me these shoes and I'd be like, that's the stunt right there. Okay then.
And how many times did they have you do it? Because sometimes I know sometimes they'll like, oh, it didn't
This
work.
was all night. This for some reason it was all. I was really early in my career.
Wow.
As I grew in my career, I was able to speak up more. But you know, they're hard on the women. The guys, you want to please them, and most of the coordinators were men and stuntmen. Like there'd be one woman on, say, a Die Hard, and tons of men. So you wanted to do a good job because there were many stunt women who were not really stunt women, or were short-lived, who said they could do something and then got on the set and they couldn't do it. So
Oh,
you
so
really
that's
had,
why. Yeah.
if I couldn't do something, I'd say no. But if I said I could do it, I did it, and pretty soon got a good reputation for that. But that was all night long for some reason.
Yeah.
Now I would have spoken up and said, this is all the same running on
Yeah.
them. What are we missing here?
Yeah. And Mark D with a C says that greats in high heels. Hope you got paid extra.
No. We get a stunt
You should
adjustment.
have, but
I
yeah.
know they give us a stunt adjustment. I can't remember if I did on that one or not, but they give you a stunt adjustment of a couple $100, let's say, if you hit the ground. It was mostly if you hit the ground, because there's only so many thumpers we can go through in life. So
Yeah. And
or some of the guys that did these huge, like huge stunts would, negotiate ahead of time, like 10,000 above and stuff. That made sense.
ooh,
But
okay.
if you just worked that day, you kind of didn't really know what you were going to get, if anything. And the stunt coordinator, afterward would go, "Is two okay? Yeah, it's great." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And maybe the opportunity to work on another
yeah,
like film.
exactly. So I was easy to have on the set and sort of funny and
and hot probably.
well, I worked out all the time. I had like 10% body fat, and thankfully, being 5'7" and blonde, I could double a lot of the actresses at the time. So that was just genetics. But I worked out a certain way. I hired a trainer that had been the trainer for the Olympics, gymnast gals, and he gave me a whole routine so that I would be really strong, but I wouldn't bulk up, because these actresses were so thin.
Yes.
So I had to,
Because
and also I had to put pads on, like elbow pads and stuff. So you had to be, thin, or even try to be a little thinner than them. So you could, because if the director saw your pads or anything, you have to take them off.
you want me to do what without pants? Oh man. All right, the next movie, of course, is the one that we're gonna see, Honey, I Shrunk the
My
Kids.
favorite, my favorite.
And there is a couple of, you said that how many scenes are you in this doing in this movie?
I'm in two scenes. The two high falls I doubled for Amy O'Neill, and her name was also Amy in the film, the teenage girl. I was a really good double for her too. Hair, and her parents mistook me for her one time when we were covered in mud. I know. She was 17. I was like 33, I think. But I put a Sharpie on my birth year on my driver's license. Oops, something spilled on it. So that was filmed in Mexico City at a Studios Churubusco, and Total Recall was also filmed there. I worked on that after this one.
Yes.
And they had these huge sound stages, bigger than the ones we have here. And it was before CGI. So it was really a huge mechanical ant and bee, and it took 12 guys to like move it. It was crazy.
So
And
awesome.
so the one high fall I did for her was when the dad swept him in the dustpan and dumped him in the garbage. And that was one. And then first we slid down the dustpan, and then the pickup shot, they put all these black garbage bags on the wall.
Yeah.
And we jumped from a 50-foot platform to a 35-foot pile of cardboard boxes. And I wasn't too nervous about that, but having kids standing up there made me nervous, with me.
Yeah.
And Mike Cassidy's son was like 8 at the time. He did his first stunt doubling the little boy. So, I was like, please don't fall off me.
Oh no, yeah.
And the other one I helped design, which was design the set where a drop of water hits her and she falls into the mud, and the neighbor boy rescues her out of the mud. And that was all me too. She had gotten amoebic dysentery because they were there for months. I was only I was
Just
only
to let
there
everybody know that the food in the water in Mexico is really not good for Americans, especially back then. And so you had to have your own cafeteria and special food and all that stuff brought in from America. And if you got anything from Mexico, you were sick.
Well, her mom brought her back to the States for a while to recover, and then she came back. So, I did all the little pond or what, little area of water that I fell into was a 35-foot high fall, and we had put in mattresses on the bottom of it because we didn't know, if I'd hit or not. We used Mexican water, Fuller's earth, and methyl cellulose, I think, and mixed all that up. The Fuller's earth made it brown, and I did hit the bottom 3 times. I hit my ribs too, but we just didn't know, I was like maybe because I didn't have any body fat. I don't know. I was like a little BB. I just sunk to the bottom. I did it 3 times. So.
Oh man.
But it was such a fun shoot, and it was originally called Grounded when we were working on it. Yeah, and the director was Joe Johnston. The producer, Penny Finkelman, her boyfriend was the first AD, and everybody was just super nice. Disney even picked me up in a limo, Rachel.
Oh wow!
To go to the airport. I was it was awesome. Disney was generous back then.
Yeah. Wow.
And, so I don't remember what else I was saying, but
so nice too.
Oh, it was called Grounded, and I guess because they were grounded because they messed with his equipment. I don't know. It didn't make sense, and I had no idea it was going to be such a big movie. I just thought it would be a fun movie.
Yeah.
And one day I went down to the set, and Penny Finkelman said, Sherry, you're gonna laugh. We were just talking. Wouldn't it be funny if we called it, "Oh, honey, I Shrunk the Kids," in Rick Moranis' voice? And I said, "Oh, that'd be hilarious." And the next thing you know, it was "Honey, I Shrunk the Kids."
Ah, man, you were the test audience to test out that name.
I'm a crash test dummy, They test me.
That is so cool. And so we're gonna watch that today. I just wanted to go through some more of Stuntbrat's amazing career, and we're gonna go through them fast. We got Nightmare on Elm Street, the 3, I believe, the child something.
It's the I've written it
down.
Dream Child, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never watched that one either because I'm too scared. big stunt woman, right? I doubled I can't remember her name, the blonde actress. Freddy Krueger popped out of my body on that one.
Okay.
So I designed a harness. It was really crazy. We used a stuntman named Noble Craig, who was a triple amputee from Vietnam. He had stepped on some mines, he told me, and he was there with his young wife and 2 little boys, and he rode around on a skateboard, and he was really strong. So I designed sort of Mike Cassidy hired me on that and asked me to design this thing, and I designed it crisscross my back and kind of like a papoose thing in the front. And so he was in that. He was also sitting on apple boxes and he was cabled to the ceiling.
Oh boy.
And there was a big fan on him because he always got hot because we lose our heat through our limbs. And he was really funny too. Once we were strapped in, the wardrobe had sewn these legs on the back of me, on the back of my legs to look like it was going through me, and boots. And so they did that. And then when they said action, I just kind of leaned back, and his one good hand, he was strangling me. He had the Freddy mask on, and his other hand, they just had pinned, like around my neck. And that was just it. Basically,
Oh,
we just
wow.
did that for a while. He was so funny. He goes, "Shall we dance?" Yeah, he was great. And he did a lot of other scary movies too. You can look him up, Noble Craig, and he's passed away now. But he had worked, because of his body size, he made it into a career.
Yeah.
Sometimes he played like a worm kind of character, crawling on the ground, and the back was just a point,
Yeah. I mean, because there could be, especially in horror, I'm probably sure if
Yeah.
you're game to do that kind of thing, like you could make a pretty good career yourself, especially if you have a lot of strong upper body strength
Yeah,
and
he did. It was
yeah.
amazing. He would hold this skateboard and somehow get up the stairs by himself. He was just so you didn't feel sorry for him. He was just he rocked. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
awesome. See, this one, Rutger Hauer.
Oh, is that Blind Fury? Oh my
Yes.
God. Another one of my really good friends, Dennis Madelone, Dennis Danger Madelone. Hi, if you're watching. Love you and Linda. He hired me an awful lot too. And on Star Trek Next Generation, he hired me on that. And this one was in Reno. I worked on it for 2 weeks, and I doubled Lisa Blount from Officer and a Gentleman. She was a blonde from that. And I doubled her mostly doing driving.
Okay.
I did a 180 in a van on a really narrow bridge. That was 3 times I did it. And that was pretty something. And then I also played an old lady. They put me in old lady makeup and stuff to drive up to Nick Cassavetes was laying in the road, and Rick Overton he was a brownie on Willow.
Yes.
He was the other guy standing up, and it was like this old lady was driving and just stopped short of Nick's head. You know what I mean? And we did it a reverse shot. So I started
Nice.
there. Yeah. And Nick goes, "Reverse, Sherry. Make sure it's in reverse."
Yes, you don't want to do the
Yeah.
opposite.
And then I just, I accelerated backwards, but, without looking back. And it was a little bit nerve wracking because I had a real old lady in the passenger seat. But I managed it, and that was just one take. One take, Tash. I tried to do it in one take. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, it's so good that they did do a reverse on that, because just for safety, I rather,
Yeah, I mean, I could stop, I showed off my stopping on the stunt reel too from that show, but no, this was a much better idea. And you know how cars kind of rock when they stop, like,
yeah.
so the grips would shake the car first, and then I reversed, and it came out looking great.
Oh wow. Oh my God. I got to see that scene again. Just to see you.
Oh, thanks, sweetie.
And then Beverly Hill Brats, that was another one.
Oh, Beverly Hills Brats. Yeah, that was another one that probably went straight to video. And I don't even remember the actress's name. Whoopi Goldberg made a cameo in that one. I think I told you. And Terry Moore, the old actress, she was the producer of it.
Okay.
And I didn't know who she was, but because she was from the 40s, But yeah, everybody's real nice, and I mostly did driving in a Corvette.
Oh, okay.
And Corvettes are very hard to slide because they're made to not slide.
Okay.
So I did like a 90, through a 90 and turned a corner, and then went straight. And I think that's all I remember of it, just
Do
driving.
you do you think you could still do driving stunts to this day, or?
I think so, yeah. It
Yeah.
just, it turned out to be my specialty. I just was good at it, and Walter taught me too. And then I went to a high performance driving school in Phoenix called Bob Bondurant, and took their 4-day course driving Formula Fords, and then these souped up Mustangs around the track and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, it's just good at it. And then I eventually got on a commercial driving team called Tom Anthony's driving team, where we did a lot of car commercials, cars in formation. And sometimes I'd get called on my own, just to go out on an audition. And so that was another good thing
Oh,
that
wow. Yes. You might get some calls.
now I don't have to put on the old lady makeup.
Well, I think you look so much younger than your actual age. They might have to still put some
Oh,
extra
thank you.
something.
Well, probably because I lied so much. I lied about my age so much, it just, my body
You could,
responded.
you could get away with it in the 80s, though, in the 90s.
Yeah.
You can, nowadays they have the internet that tracks everything down about
But,
you.
yeah, but I
Um,
didn't party, I didn't drink or do any drugs or anything. So, and I ate, I was an athlete and I took it seriously and I ate well and, you know, worked out all the time. So, I think that matters,
yeah,
especially on women when they party when they're younger. It
yeah.
takes a toll on their lips. And then probably just my good Swiss genes, I could be on a hot chocolate box. Thank you, Grandma. She was born in Lausanne, Switzerland. Yeah.
Oh man. And like when you talk about the driving, which kind of reminds me, I love cars from afar. I don't actually own a car. But what is your favorite car to drive?
It was a Corvette.
The Corvette.
Yeah, I always liked the look of them too. They were
Yeah.
just, yeah. But I didn't buy one for myself. I never made a ton of, I made enough to support my kid and me, but I didn't. Some stuntmen make a lot of money.
Yeah.
They're on shows for like 9 months or something, and do all kinds of crazy stuff and get a lot of stunt adjustments. And your residuals are based on what you made.
Mm.
So, and I still get a good one from Honey Shrunk the Kids every now and then. I'll get a $300 or $400 residual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
might get
think
a little extra. You might get a little extra from
I will. Thank you, people, for buying Honey Shrunk the Kids.
We're watching it on Disney Plus. And then let's see. The next one that I have up is Kill Me Again.
Oh, it's Val Kilmer. Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe then wife
Joanne Bailey. Yeah.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
used to love those two together
Yeah.
as a pair. What did you have to do on this one?
Well, this one was actually an acting part, and I think I did pretty well. It was an acting part with Michael Madsen, where we were pulled up. It's filmed in Vegas at the Red Rocks in Vegas, and it was a rural restroom, rest stop with the male and female restrooms. And I pulled up with my kids, and Michael Madsen was, a bad guy. I don't remember the plot, but he yanked me out of the car, and I was, sitting down by the wheel of the car, and he was threatening me, and that was it. And so I was so excited because we get to go to the screenings.
Oh, yeah.
The SAG people get invited. And I brought my oldest daughter with me at the time. I had 2 more kids 20 years after her.
Wow.
Yeah, I had them in 76, 94, and 96. But, and I was so excited. So I took her and I said, oh, this is going to be, a good act. Now I'll finally have an acting, reel,
Yeah.
to show them my acting. And they cut it out.
No.
Cutting room full. It happens. It really wasn't necessary to the plot, you know.
But they did give you this credit though.
Yeah, you still get the credit if you got paid and
Mm,
get
okay.
residuals, you know. I still get a tiny one from that one, I think. Once
Wow.
I got a 1 cent residual. Oh, wait, am I off here? What did I do? Yeah,
Just
that's
like
right.
yeah.
I got a 1 cent residual, I think, from Mike Hammer, where I doubled Heather Thomas. Yeah, that was one of my early ones.
Wow. And then we have Bride of Re-Animator.
Oh yes, never seen that one either, Retro.
Yeah, Re-Animator is a. I'll cover it one day. It's a pretty intense horror movie. It's wild.
Well, that one I doubled this really skinny Italian actress, Fabiana something, and I wrestled with the stunt double in the bride's dress. We were on like a gurney and we're wrestling, and then we fell off the gurney onto the floor. That was it.
Oh wow. And Big Bad John.
Oh, Big Bad John, my bestie, Romy Walthall. She started as Romy Windsor and then
Hmm.
changed her name back to her real name, which was Walthall.
Hmm.
And she just died a few years ago at age 57.
Oh
We were
wow.
besties for a long time. I'm her daughter's godmother. She married Neil Israel, who did all the Look Who's Talkings and uh, I think Real Genius too.
Oh.
And yeah, and so she got on this show and requested me. It's great when the actresses request you because you know the stunt coordinator will usually honor that instead of hiring his main gal. That you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a testament to just like their stamp of approval. Like this person's done me, has doubled for me in the past, and they, everything went well that time. We can trust that
Yeah,
it'll happen again.
yeah. And we were we were crazy besties. She was so gorgeous. You guys can
Oh
look
yeah,
her up. It's so much fun. Oh my gosh, the stories we have. But
that is awesome.
on that one, I when I was doubling her, was inside of a living room. Um, I had to fly to location. I can't remember where it was though. But remember the guy? Is it Bo Swenson? He was a blonde guy, and I think he was on Dallas or Knots Landing or one of those shows. I think it was Dynasty, but I think it was Swenson, Bo Swenson, and he was the bad guy, and he grabbed me by the hair and was yanking me around, and then threw me onto a couch, and I was doubling Romy.
Okay. I hope the character punched him in the gut afterwards.
He was
I dare
really
you.
nice. He was really quiet. Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, the next one is Total Recall.
Oh yes, Total Recall. Yeah, I worked on The Running Man a couple years before that. Another one of my early ones. It was a crowd scene in the game show. It was a crowd scene, and there was something happened, an explosion or something, where everybody started panicking and screaming and running out of the, where they were seated.
Mhm.
And it was mostly extras, but they had a few strategic stunt people in there to there was a wall where you had to walk around, into a hallway. And instead I was up on the wall and jumped down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
And
man.
we all just played ourselves, the stunt people,
And
just part of the crowd.
that was for Running Man, which
Yeah.
is a movie that Marina and I did. We did a watch party for last year. Very, very good, everybody. I hope you did get a chance to see The Running Man. I know they're
Yeah.
doing a remake now,
Yeah.
but I gotta watch it again to see if I can find you in there.
And Total Recall was also shot in Mexico City at a Studios
Mhm.
Trubisco. And I think they were there again a long time. I think like same thing, probably 9 months. Arnold was so nice. He was nice to everybody on the set. He was very grateful for his stunt people, and he did a few of his own punches and stuff, but he was always just so, you know, praising his stunt team. And yeah, he got it. He was really nice. And I doubled Rachel Tickerton, the brunette girlfriend at the end, the blowing out of the mountain stuff, you know.
Right,
There was a
right.
big fan. There was this huge fan that they were kind of hanging on. And we were up on cables. And then basically they shot it vertical and we just fell, you know, just let go of the fan and fell straight down. But it comes across as a sideways shot where she's blown sideways
Yes,
across the thing,
I
and that's
remember
also
that.
on like, stunt reel, yeah. And
Such a
yeah,
frightening moment.
that and with can I tell my Arnold story?
Yes, please do. It's a well, if you have little kids, please let them leave the
It's
room.
not that bad, you know. It's a donkey, right? And we were hanging up on cables, and Arnold goes, "Sherry, you have a nice ass." And I was like, then we go, "Thank you, Arnold. I can die a happy woman now." He laughed so hard. He was just like, "Oh, Sherry, you're funny," you know. Because I worked with stuntmen. You just had to, you know, you just had to give it back and just be cool, be fun of the
Yeah,
game. And then I said, actually, Arnold, that is a huge compliment coming from you because I did work out all the time.
yeah. I mean, and I think there was such a like a kind of a humor back at that point in time. I
Yeah,
I never took like so somebody said something like that, and I'm like, oh really? Oh
yeah, yeah.
God.
It
But
was different. Yeah,
yeah, it was
yeah. I mean, and
different.
nobody crossed the line with me. I joked around a lot, flirted, and
Hmm.
you know, with the guys I felt comfortable with, but nobody ever really crossed the line, which was nice. And Arnold's wife, Maria Shriver, was there, pregnant with their first child. And
Oh wow.
and my stunt coordinator broke his back. There was he was doubling Arnold, Joel Kramer, and it was the blowing out of the mountain was this big, huge slide that they had built in one of these huge sound stages, and it was just like those round slides that people go through, you know. And
Hmm.
it curved around, and then it was real steep, and you blew out of the mountain into this big airbag. And this one stuntman who was testing it, everything was fine, you know. So I thought, okay, and I had my oldest daughter with me on that show too. And when they filmed, the Joe Kramer stopped like at the edge of the, you know, where he's supposed to come out. He just stopped and slid in between the airbag and the wall and broke his back.
Oh,
And we're like, what? You know? So the tester stuntman who was rigging, he did it again. It worked, and so I was supposed to do it next, and my daughter was really nervous. And the director, your favorite director, retro, Paul Verhoeven,
yes.
he wanted 50 takes of everything. You know, it's like, okay, dude, if the actresses are saying lines, that's fine, you know, but this is a stunt.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was dating a Mexican gal there, a young Mexican gal, and she wanted to become a stunt woman. And so at the last minute, they took the wig off me and put it on her. And I was like, I'm fine with that, you know, do my job for me. And she did it, and she did the same thing. She got hung up at the end and dropped right between the airbag and the wall, and she broke a leg. So I was just going, so I didn't have to do it, thank God. But we figured out what happened finally. During the takes, they would blow this smoke out of the, you know, in the circle.
Hmm.
This kind of white smoke and stuff would come out, not during the rehearsals. And the smoke evidently was sticky. And yeah,
Oh.
so it made them stick right there. And we were coming down fast, you know, because it was
Ah,
very high, like 50 feet that thing started, you know. So,
that's
so good.
wild.
Yeah, so good. I didn't have to do that. And then I did also a double jump with Arnold. They were running around a corner,
Mm.
and he said to Rachel Ticker, he said, jump. And they jumped and they grabbed a bar. And that was a double high fall that I did, you know, for her too.
Oh wow.
I kind of couldn't wait to get out of there. It was, you know, for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
And my stunt coordinator, you know, we visited him in his hospital room that night. Arnold and Maria were there. I was there with my daughter, a couple other stuntmen, and we were standing around. And Arnold, I can say that. He was asking Joe how he felt and stuff, and he ended up flying Joel home on his private jet
Oh,
to
that's nice.
get surgery. Yeah, but he was asked him how he's feeling and stuff, and then he goes, "How's your pecker?" and Joe goes, "Fine." He goes, "You'll be fine, then. You're fine."
That sounds like something
Yeah.
Arnold would say.
Oh,
One thing I would say about Arnold is, just from observation, is that especially when he was younger, had a very interesting sense of humor that kind of broke the ice a lot. So I
yeah,
think maybe he was sensing the room was a little serious and just wanted everybody to laugh.
yeah, he really did. And,
Now we've got Problem Child.
oh, that was a fun one. Yeah, the stunt coordinator was very well respected. Big stunt coordinator Mickey Gilbert. He coordinated Old Gringo and just a lot of all these guys were in the Stuntmen's Association too. That they were mostly the people that I worked for. Very good. It was like a club, but if you were in it, it gave you, the stamp of approval too, kind of. And Mickey, he was just really good horse guy. He's really good at everything. In fact, his two sons, a lot of people's sons are working now. When I read the credits in the new movie, I'll recognize a lot of last names,
Okay.
Yeah, but his
It
two
was it
sons,
was in the blood.
yeah, and his two sons live in Ojai, and they were still working last I checked. But uh, yeah, he hired me on several things. He hired me on what was it City Slickers 2 also.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Problem Child um, was in Houston, Texas, and it was at like an old brick. It was supposed to be a Catholic school or Catholic orphanage, and we were there before everybody got there. We did this stunt, and it was this bratty little kid, the problem child, had kicked over a bucket of water as the very large Mother Superior was walking down the hall, and she slips as a banana peel slip, which was me, and then I just was riding on this skateboard kind of thing down the hall and out a two-story window into a dumpster.
Oh boy. Really slapstick.
Yeah, so that was fun. It was fun being with Mickey. But and the director was a child star, I think, from Disney. I can't remember his name though, but you could look it up. But yeah, he was really nice too.
And Simply Steve 68 says Problem Child liked it. Both it and its sequel parts were filmed here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area by Los Colinas
Oh, okay.
Studios. Oh, cool. That's so nice.
My little piece was in Houston, but it was in that area.
Yeah. It's so nice to like recognize your town in movies, or where you've grown up, or places that are familiar.
Yeah.
And Ted Ryder says, "What was John Ritter like? Did you meet John Ritter on it?"
Hi, Ted. Hi, Ted. No, I didn't. He came. He and his future wife. She was the star of it. That's where they met. She came, and we were wrapping up and the stars were starting to come in, and so no, I didn't meet John. But one night we had dinner. Mickey and I had dinner with, I can't remember her name, just redheaded actress who was the co-star.
Let's see. This is Blood Games. This is one that
I
they
have
had.
no idea. I don't remember that. Let's see.
It's
I
America's favorite pastime just got turned deadly. It's like some cheerleaders that are.
I have no idea. I don't remember.
Well, they have you. Yeah, they
I
have
don't
you on.
remember.
Well, here's one that's not on IMDb, but it is definitely on the Star Trek fandom websites. You were in an episode
Mhm.
of High Ground for Star Trek in 1990.
Yeah,
Um,
that
and
was fun.
and
Dennis Madalone was the coordinator on that, and he called me and said, "Sherry, can you be down here in a couple hours as a breadhead?" And I said, "Sure." And so I ran to this store in Laurel Canyon where the people got their products, for the movies. And I got two colors of red mousse, and I mixed them together and just combed them through my blonde hair because the women on this terrorist planet were redheads with a black streak, and the men had blonde hair with a black streak. And when I went in there, I told the hair people what I had done, and they said, "Oh my gosh, we should have used blondes because the black showed up better on my hair than the
uh,
actual redheads." Yeah. And so, yeah, so I shot Worf. When I found out that, I'm like, is he leaving the show? We
yeah,
never did the stars.
we like that guy. What happened?
And so I shot him. I appeared on the deck, and I shot him, and then he shot me, and I fell back, and then I beamed myself out of there with that thing on my arm. And that's my main fest. Okay, let me see if I can do it. I told my son goes, "Gosh, Mom, you're a terrorist." I said, "Yeah, and that's my mean face. Memorize it." He was a handful.
Man. And Simply Steve was saying, yes, Warp ended up on DS9. He was everywhere, right? I don't know how he just ended up in all these different shows. But yeah, this is I look, this is how you find people. You get the nerds on the Star Trek nerds like actually filled out your resume for you.
See, I know it. I was like, glad
They even got a picture and everything. Like they've got even more information that I'm not sharing. But
Well,
yeah,
my good friend Tom Morga doubled Patrick Stewart, and they became friends. And so I think I told you that one Christmas, he invited me to go see Patrick Stewart do the what was the one,
was it Scrooge?
Scrooge? Yeah,
Yes.
Scrooge. And he did all the characters, and it was just him sitting on the stage. It was fabulous. It was really good.
I saw a recording of that, and it blew my mind.
Yeah,
He's
he's really
so
talented.
amazing. Yeah, that was I guess the high times of his career. I think because high point, because
Yeah.
he was, when people saw that he had such a range of acting ability, it's like, wow, this guy is incredible.
Yeah. Well, he's English, so he probably started in theater and stuff
Yeah.
and got real good training. I'm guessing. But I also worked on another episode at the very beginning when the show started. Denise Crosby was on it. She had real short blonde hair. She was like the psychic person.
Yes.
And she wanted to leave the show to do films, which
Yes.
I can't imagine, and she didn't end up going, as well as she thought. She worked on Pet Cemetery after that and a couple others, but yeah, so I doubled her until she left.
Oh, wow.
And she got
Yeah.
killed off. It was a rat. I didn't do that one. It was another stunt woman who was trying to get into the business. There were connections there.
Yeah.
And it was one of those ratchet pulls, where you're really pulled back, you're really snapped back.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was kind of happy I didn't have to do that. The old neck is already hurting.
Yeah, I was pretty upset when they killed her off, but I can understand her desire to want to do more. Um,
Yeah.
and
And I ran into her in an acting class after that. I guess she was having a hard time. Milton Casellas acting class in Hollywood.
oh, and Simply Steve 68 says you looked cute there, Stuntbrat.
Thank you. Cute wasn't my goal, but thanks. I got started late. I'd been married for 8 years. I had a kid, and a 10-year-old kid. I started when I was about in my late 20s, really. almost 30, so that was kind of old to start stunts,
Yeah.
but
Um,
we did.
I mean, well, you looked young. I mean, so
Yeah,
and your
yeah,
body was totally fit. So I think it was
yeah,
such a good match, I think.
yeah.
Especially when you see her as Red Zone, you're like, what?
That was a hard show, Retro. That was a hard $35 I
It
made.
looks hard. It looks hard. I can't believe they didn't pay you like $1,000 for that one show.
Oh, I was so sore at the very beginning, and and I'm left-handed,
Yeah,
and I had to learn the whole routine right-handed because it wouldn't match with the other swords,
yeah,
the choreography.
yeah. We'll see a little bit of that. And PZ and I says Denise was in movies before Star Trek, maybe
Yes,
the biggest star out of them all, except for Patrick. Yes,
yes.
and it was and it just seems like and yes, and LeVar Burton as well. Yes, he was also very famous.
Right, right.
And let's see what was next. General Hospital. We all know about this wonderful TV show, General Hospital. And did you do like do
Oh,
you
yeah.
remember doing anything on that show?
Yes, I do. I worked a lot. I worked like for 8 years straight on Bold and the Beautiful, but it was sporadic, when they needed me to double Susan Flannery or Darlene Connolly. And Days of Our Lives, I doubled Deidre Hall and a couple others for a few years as well. This one, I didn't work. The coordinator was Jeff Amata, and he was the coordinator of The Crow with Brandon Lee. Yeah, he was a good coordinator too. And I think one time I was wearing a business suit and I had to I fell into a big vat of fish oil. It wasn't really fish oil, but that was nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other one, I did a spiral staircase fall. I've done stair
Oh,
falls, but this one was in a nightgown. Of course, they never give we can't wear as many pads as the men get to because of the wardrobe.
mhm, mhm.
And
It's so funny because I remember watching these kinds of soap operas and my God, the stunts that they used to do. I was like, what are they gonna do next? Like some, crazy thing that they're gonna do next with the characters.
yeah, it's always some crazy plot, like yeah, Deidre Hall, one of her clients like pushed her into a basement, and I had to do that. And then there was a scene with rats in the basement that I had to do, but she liked the rats and she did it. So that was cool. I don't mind. I don't mind rats. I like, just no spiders or snakes.
Okay, did you ever get to hang out with Deidre at all? She seems like such an interesting woman because before this she was doing Dinah Girl, which is like sort of like a comic book character superhero
Mhm.
show that was on, I believe, in the 70s. Did you ever get to like hang out with her or meet her?
Yeah, I did. At first, she was super nice to me.
Electra Woman, sorry, Electra Woman and Dinah Girl was the other character. Thank you, Simply
Yeah.
Steve. Yes.
At first, she was really nice to me and invited me into her dressing room. And I told her about my daughter, and she gave me a picture. We never asked for, any autographs or pictures or anything. We would go up to them and just ask if we could have a Polaroid of both of us, dressed the same
Oh,
for
yes.
our book, and they would let us do that. But we would never ask. And at first, she was super nice, and then um, I got engaged to a cameraman who worked on. He was freelance, but he worked on the show a lot. And I broke off the engagement, and so I guess he was pretty sad about it. And so I worked for her one more time. I mean, doubled her one more time. And then my stunt coordinator, Mike Adams, called me and said that she didn't want me to work on the show anymore. So sorry, I
Oh,
didn't marry the right guy for you, dude.
Oh, no.
Whatever.
Yeah, I hate when your personal life gets all mixed up with your professional life. It should be separate, but
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's tough.
I tried, and I didn't date stuntmen or anything, so that was
And
good.
then we have this one, uh,
Heaven, Cold Heaven.
yeah, Heaven, Cold Heaven.
Yeah, that was another sketchy show. That was in Acapulco.
Mhm.
I doubled Teresa Russell, and her husband was an older English guy. He was the director, and Mark Harmon was on it, and Mark was super nice. He was so nice. And I basically I had to jump out of a boat, and then another one I had to roll down a hill for her, and she wanted to do her own stunts. Some of them do, they're
Yeah.
not real happy you're even there. I'm like, please, I got paid the moment I stepped foot on set. Please do my job. But we were in the water, and Mark and I were sitting on something together, a dock or something, and he said, you know what, you should go down. I've got a good friend. You should go down to her production office and leave your headshot, because you would be a great double for her. And it was Meg Ryan.
Awesome.
I actually did get called to double her on When a Man Loves a Woman from Mickey Gilbert.
Mhm.
But it was a shower scene where she like crashed through the shower door. And
wow.
I made the decision not to do nudity. I was raised with good morals, and once you open that door,
Yeah.
yeah. So I really kind of didn't want to do it. And he was like, please, Sherry, nobody will be on this set, except for the, 8 of the crew.
Yes.
And
the world that will see you. So
and it was quick. It's quick,
Yeah.
but I really didn't want to land on glass with no clothes or pads on, naked. That would be a thumper. And I told him I would, and because it was Mickey, and he was Christian.
Mm.
And so I went in there to show the Italian producers, so they could look at me. And I had a shirt. I have broad shoulders anyway, but I had a shirt on with the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
And they took one look at me and says, "Oh no," they were talking in Italian, but Mickey said they think your shoulders are too broad. So I was like, "Oh darn, gosh."
I love it when things like that happen. It's just so wild. But yeah, that's a great story. Now there's this movie called Hits. This is another one I had no idea.
The other one, I have no idea.
It seems like it's like one of those like in the hood movies that they were doing in the 90s, like LA Street Gang kind of
Yeah, yeah,
movie.
like Colors, that
Like
was
Colors, yeah.
in the 80s. So I have no recollection of that movie.
Yeah, don't worry, because IMDb has me in a lot of stuff too, and I'm like, like how, yeah.
They have you in a lot of stuff for.
They have me in on IMDb for some reason.
For
Some
what?
of it is true, some of it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I don't know why you're adding that to like IMDb, but
I'm gonna look you up.
yes, you can. You can definitely look me up. It's hilarious because Lorena Creole has a music department, and I'm the head of her music department.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Hilarious. So you can't believe everything you see on the internet. Yeah, that's the
Yes.
moral of the story. But I think that it's still a good resource for some things. Now, were you in? Do you recollect this one, Killing Zoe?
Killing Zoe. Yeah, I do remember that one. It was that French gal. Oh, what was her name? Oh, Julie Delpy. Julie Delpy. She was in quite a few movies at that time, and I doubled her, and I think I shot an Uzi for her.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. But I did that for Karen Black too,
oh, I love,
early
I
in my
love that.
career. Yeah, so I think it was just shooting.
And Double Exposure with Sandra Bullock.
That sounds familiar. Double Exposure. I have no idea what I did. I didn't double Sandra though. I would have remembered that.
Yeah. And this one at all. This was a weird. I couldn't even find this one on the internet quite as.
Dead Connection. I don't remember that one either.
Well, they got City Slickers too, though. That's one. That's
Yeah,
what we got.
and there's so many TV shows I worked on too, Retro, that they don't, when you Google me, it just shows the films. There were so many great TV shows I worked on too,
Oh,
like
wow.
like Lois and Clark. Dean Cain is still a babe.
Lois and Clark. See.
Yeah, I doubled. Jeannie Francis was a big star on General Hospital, I think, and she was a guest star on it, and I doubled her. So.
And with City Slickers, what did
City Slickers too? Yeah. Okay, so Mickey hired me on that, and he was in Utah with all the horse guys on second unit. And so they were in the studio was first unit, doing other scenes. And so he sent me in by myself and said, you can coordinate yourself on this one, And it was Billy Crystal was directing, and Daniel Stern he was in an office, and they were talking about the map, Curly's map, and John Lovitz came in, and so they were like, "Oh, we were just talking about nothing," and Daniel Stern, went out the door, and I was walking towards him with a stack of papers, and so he basically knocked me down. I mean, I made it look like he knocked me down, and the papers were all flying, and gosh, we had to do that like 7 times, and I was just had a back pad on like a cement floor.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and Daniel was super nice. Every time he'd be, "Are you okay?" And I was getting ready to go talk to Billy at that point. What is the problem? The problem was John Lovitz was saying a line, as the stunt's happening behind him, and he just kept screwing around, trying to be funny or something. It's like, dude, this is a stunt,
Yeah.
It's fine to do that if you're just playing around just acting, but I was like, oh my gosh, why 7 times? Come on, girl. But then that was it. So I didn't have to, I can't remember the stunt adjustment they gave me for that, but I don't think it was much.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, the multiple takes is where I think a lot of people.
Especially that one,
Yeah.
just
because you have there's a lot to set up, right? You have to clear out all the
it was just the papers,
Yeah.
But it was just my back on the floor with a back
Yeah.
pad. That was a thumper, what we call a thumper.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also the sensitivity of realizing that other people are.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of John Lovett. I'm not a fan of John Lovett.
That other people are putting their bodies at stake for
Yeah.
a scene, and
He's totally oblivious.
yeah. Well, here's another one. You were talking about the Bold and the Beautiful. I've got the date wrong, but it says that you started in 1998 and went on until 2006.
Yeah.
Doing stunts with them.
It was about 8 years, right? And I doubled. She was the star. Susan Flannery. She was like the boss lady of this family.
Yeah.
It was fashion stuff, I think. And I did a lot. She was really nice to me and really appreciative. And I even got a letter from the producers of that show, and The Young and the Restless was across the hall from us, and they produced that one too. And they wrote me a really nice letter, just thanking me and everything, which is really cool. But I had to do so many crazy stuff for her. I got I was going up a staircase and I got shot in the back. And one time she had a heart attack and I crashed through the glass coffee table. And there was just a bunch of, stuff like, oh, and when somebody tried to drown her in the bathtub. And so I was the one that got my head dunked in the bathtub, and they had a square cut out on the outside, for the camera to see it
Yeah.
in the water.
Oh.
Yeah. And so that we did a few takes of that. That was fine. And then one time, Susan and another actress were pretending that, well, the other actress was Phyllis Diller. Yeah, she was a guest on the show. And so when I got on the set, Susan goes, "Hi, Sherry, I want you to meet my friend Phyllis." And I was like, "Hi, Phyllis," And then I was like, "Oh, Phyllis Diller."
That Phyllis?
Yeah, and she was older and she was really tiny and really quiet. And so we were dressed up as plumbers because we were going to spy on this house, And so we had these one-piece plumber's outfit on, and we had mustaches and short men's wigs, dark wigs. We looked like Mario Brothers or something. And, and she pushed me in a jacuzzi.
Oh my goodness.
It was a comedy scene. So that was
Yeah.
pretty fun. That was pretty neat to meet Phyllis. It was so
Ah.
neat to meet. I mean, considering I wanted to do this my whole life, it was in front of camera, and I mean, it was just so cool to meet and work with a lot of the actors that, I'd grown up, admiring and loving, like on Hell Comes to Frogtown, Rory Calhoun was in that film.
Oh.
And I'd met him before on Avenging Angel, or Walter worked on it. And yeah, my mom never knew any of the actors, names. But when I said, "Do you know Rory Calhoun?" She goes, "Rory Calhoun." She I told Rory that too. And yeah, he was really sweet. So yeah, it was just really neat to be able to do that and meet everybody.
Yeah. It sounds like you had such a wonderful experience. I mean, but there seems to be some, ups and downs, like any career, but also like those memorable moments, like that you just,
Yeah,
never. Now,
yeah. Um, I wanted to tell you that I doubled Meredith Baxter on a TV movie called She Knows Too Much with Robert Urich,
ah,
and jumped rooftop to rooftop. It was 4 floors up in the Wilshire district, and it was across an alleyway. So it was 15 feet across and 8 feet down, and I broke both ankles on impact on that one because they brought me a really thin little pad at the last minute saying they wanted to film the landing, which they never do. They just cut to the actor rolling afterward.
oh
But yeah, that was bad.
my God.
Both ankles, that was bad. Yeah.
So
I,
who
I,
took care of you when that had, like, what happened?
well, it was my daughter, I think, was at her father's at that time out of state. And she flew back and forth, and they didn't have an elevator in this old building. And so the firemen had to carry me down 4 flights of stairs, and each step was like killing my ankles, and they took me to the hospital there in Hollywood. And um, I was borderline surgery, thank God. So I didn't have to have surgery. And I was in the hospital for 10 days, which really wasn't necessary. But I found out that hospital was closing. So they were probably just trying to, milk as many, patients as they could. But it was
Before,
fine with
yeah.
me because I couldn't even walk. So it was fine with me. And then when I got home, you just get workers' comp. The company has insurance, the production company. And so they did provide me with a nurse that came
Mhm.
in and did grocery shopping and stuff like that. I lived in a second floor apartment at the time, and I had a hospital bed in there, 2 casts on my legs. That, yeah. So, and then later, she only came like 3 days a week as I got better. Went through a series of walking boots and casts, and I was up for the part on Father Dowling Mysteries, doubling Tracy Nelson.
Okay.
And I met the stunt coordinator at a restaurant, but I had my crutches in my chest, you know, and he said, "You're a perfect double for her. If you can get those casts off by this date, you know, you got the job." And it was filmed in Denver, and a lot of the stuntmen would just cut their casts off, you know.
And take a lot of drugs.
Yeah, but then it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna set right, you know, and
Yeah.
of course, I had my high heel stunts, you know, that I had to do. So I just didn't want to be limping around, like, you know.
Yeah.
So I
I
didn't.
mean,
I had to pass on that.
you would be in so much pain
Oh yeah,
today
yeah.
if you, I mean, and that's the other thing people don't realize about, you know, with the stunt work or any kind of like thing that you're physically like taxing your body, that as you get older, that stuff comes to really matter. I wanted to show your sizzle reel, but as I'm looking at it, there's no way because there's music on it.
Can you mute it?
We'll try it. Okay.
I made it in the
So,
I made it in the late 80s as soon as I could. As soon as I had a few decent ones, you know, to put on it, you know, I made it as soon as I could. I did a lot of work after that.
I'll turn off the volume and we'll play a little. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but I think even the music, when you hear this, this is this is
That's the
so
Conan
great,
show.
guys. The music though, if you hear it, is just great. Look at who is that?
That's not my number anymore. It was an
Yeah, don't
answering
try
service.
those numbers. It's not gonna
It
work.
was an answering service called Teddy's. SAG used them too. A lot of
Look at
stuff.
that. Amazing.
My 10-year-old girl goes, "Mom, your butt's showing." I said, "When I take this wig off and I'm blonde and we walk into our car, nobody's going to recognize me."
Yeah.
But we did have to go out after the show and take pictures with the guests and stuff. And
Yeah. So awesome. And your form is incredible. You got a
oh, thank you.
fantastic form. And here's the part.
That was the part when that guy said, "Did you know you're bleeding?"
And this is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which you're gonna
Yeah.
watch in a moment. So cool.
That was
And this is
my
one of
favorite.
your
It was such a
sons.
fun one. Such a fun show. Yeah, the actors, they had cables on them and pulled them back up. But when it was us, they poured all these big styrofoam screws and plastic pieces of glass and dust all over us, you know. Mm.
Imagine being thrown in the garbage.
There's me. That was it. All that setup. You set up so
Sidekick.
long, and then yeah, that was really me on a Disney TV show called Sidekicks. Mike Vendrell, good friend of mine, big stunt coordinator. He coordinated Newsies. Him and his wife were good friends of mine. He hired me on that. And I doubled Amy on this. It was a TV movie called I Know My First Name is Steven, and just happened to double Amy again. And we drove this car off like 70 feet off of the road. Yeah,
I'll provide the sound effects, guys.
we were really strapped in. There's the ankle breaker.
Man.
I was such a good double for her. I was almost a head-on double. I also climbed up a building and stuff for her on that show. There's China Phillips doubling her, and Justin Bateman is double.
Okay, yeah, this is the Shy People one.
Yeah, this is I was so scared. The locals were like, "I wouldn't go in there if I were you." Like, thanks. Rutger Hauer was very nice, very quiet. Here's my 180 that I'm real proud of.
Ooh.
It was an old bridge they were going to demolish, and so we got to play on that. And that was when the old lady scene was too. Yeah, this is the old lady scene. There's Rick and Nick Cassavetes. He was my neighbor too.
Oh man. I had such a crush on Nick.
He was really cute, really
Yeah.
nice. He just had a baby then too.
Oh, wow.
His wife, obviously. This was, I think that was Doubling Karen Black. And then here's the Total Recall stunt.
Woo! Yep, there you are.
Yeah. We just dropped down, but it looked so good sideways. And here's
Oh, this is it.
yeah, my ankles changed. You can see it's me now. The ankles went. Yeah, another bin. I've been a prostitute, dead body thrown into a bin. There's Angie Dickinson.
I
She
love.
was so nice. I was such a good double for her too. She
She's
goes, oh, Sherry, I wish I had a series like Policewoman or something. You're such a good double for me. Because that was the one walking to the car,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, me too, And she was it was supposed to be a little tiny explosion in the front of the trunk. Somebody was trying to kill her, right?
Yeah.
And the special effects guy said that. And then here I hit the ground. I had a spot where I walked and, fell. And it was just like overwhelming. I didn't have any fire gel on my face or anything. And I felt this big warm whoosh. And I was like, crap, And it was all actually the NBC News was there that night filming it because we were just on an alley street,
Yeah.
And they showed it. But guess who was the first one by my side to see how I was? Angie.
Yeah.
She's such a pro. So just so wonderful. She was like one of my favorite actresses to double. Yeah, if not my favorite. She even asked me, like, I had a purse. And she even said, Sherry, which side do you want me to hold the purse on to set up the shot? What's easier for you? What? Normally we just have to, match whatever, So she knew her stuff. Yeah, she was great to work with. Just
Wow.
beautiful lady. She's still alive too. I think she's like 91 or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Thank you so much, Mark D with a C. He found your YouTube, and I also added the video that I was just watching. I believe it's a private. It's not it's unlisted, I think.
No, that
But
one's the video you just showed, the montage. It's under Stuntbrat777 on YouTube.
Okay, so it's there,
Yeah.
and that's the direct link to it. And in case you guys want to see her do her awesome the Red Sonja. Ooh, I love it. I'm like,
Oh,
yes, get him,
know
get
what? Richard, you're gonna love this. They hired me like last minute because they were short for the Halloween Horror Nights. Where
Okay.
normally we just did 4 shows during the day, but this one was 6 shows like back to back,
Yeah.
And I only had like 2 or 3 days to rehearse the whole thing. It was crazy. And get my pyrotechnic license and everything. And what the guys did apparently to initiate the new Red Sonjas there was a lot of like caverns, where we'd throw guys and everything. Or I'd look up to that hole where I came down, from the rope.
Yes.
Every single time was a guy mooning me. Every time. And I was just like, I just kept going, and I was just hollering at them after the show in the dressing room, and they were laughing so hard. Yeah, to make me less nervous. Yeah, it was.
That's kind of sweet. I mean, a little crazy, but a little sweet in their own way. And Ted Rogers lets us know Angie Dickinson and Barbara Eden, both born in 1931. Amazing. I actually really like those two.
My mom was born in 32.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I never doubled. People always thought I looked like Barbara Eden because I wore a little ponytail thing, but I never doubled her. Yeah,
she's great. And I think, Angie Dickinson, I mean, she did have that show like Policewoman for a long time.
Oh, yeah, this was before I got in the biz when I was, when I was just a little housewife with a baby.
Yeah, that was a great show because I remember me and my mom made sure to watch it. So
another stuntman in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Bob Yerkes. he was a very good stuntman and rigger, a circus guy. He had a whole,
Mm.
I learned trapeze in his backyard. I was kind of afraid of heights, and I wanted to take the job in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And so my girlfriend, Karen Price, was a very good stunt woman, and she was a Red Sonja, and she taught me trapeze. I had the belt on and stuff, but to be able to land in the net backwards and stuff, so I was more comfortable. But Bob was, he used to do Circus of the Stars. I don't know if you guys remember that, but the Stars, it was every year, it was like a show. Stars would, ride an elephant and do different things. And he was also, he doubled Doc on Back to the Future on
Oh,
the clock,
wow.
the whole clock stuff, where he was hanging on the clock.
What?
Yeah, that was Bob Yerke. So he was quite a bit older than me. But he very good stuntman, good reputation. And he did that when they were spinning, when Rick Moranis was spinning in the grass. He'd made that contraption where he could try to look in the grass with magnifying glass, and then it started spinning really fast, out of control. Bob set all that up and did that stunt for him.
Oh my God, that was creative. Yeah, so after seeing the movie after so long, how do you feel about that movie?
It's a great film, all in every category. It's this guy, the Geek Squad, who was helping me at Best Buy yesterday, he was like, it's a classic, and it is. It's a Disney
Awesome.
classic, and I'm so grateful and thrilled that I got to work on it, because like I said, it was called Grounded. I thought, well, this will be a fun movie, but I didn't know it'd be such a hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just really like watching it again, all those good feelings
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
of watching it so long ago, and it's just so amazing. And the stories you shared with us earlier about everything. Um, it's just one. This is going to be one of those live streams I won't forget for very long. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna see that one again. So we're gonna definitely this moment goes down in history for us. Now, I wanted to ask you just some general questions, just for funsies. Now, what are some of the movies that you're not in that you really love? Like, I know I do know that your favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz, which
Yeah.
has a special place in my heart. And any others you want to share with us?
You mean just like my favorite movies?
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of old ones, but the
Well,
original
please do.
the Arthur, uh, from the 80s with Dudley
Yes.
Moore.
Yeah, Dudley Moore.
How I judge a movie is if every scene is a vignette in itself, kind of,
Mhm.
and that, to me, that's what makes a good film. And every scene in that was just hilarious, and I loved it.
Oh,
And another one, his Crazy People, is hilarious.
Crazy People.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
been a
fun,
while since I've
with
seen it.
Daryl Hannah and Dudley Moore.
Yeah.
Uh, but the original Rocky, I love that one. Oh gosh. Um, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Australia. The movie
Yeah.
Australia came out, I think, around 2004 with Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman, and that
Oh,
got bumped. Yeah, that got
I've
bumped to my number two. That's my number two.
Wow, okay. I heard about it when it came out, but I never did see it.
And it even has
Uh,
a little Wizard of Oz thread running through it too, because
wow, yeah.
it's supposed to be 1939 in Australia, and when the movie
Oh,
first came out. Yeah,
mhm.
it's good on every level. It's just amazing. Yeah, I love that.
Oh, man. Yeah, and Outcast Creative says the full cut of Australia is much better than the cinema release. Oh, wow. And guys, if you have any last questions for Stunt before we get out of here, do add them, and I can ask her some questions that you might have. And
You know what else? Retro Spaceballs. I worked on that, and that is one of my favorites too. That was,
Space House.
yeah, I
Oh my
did.
God.
I doubled Daphne Zuniga in the wedding dress, and I got to go and ride up in the space Mercedes. That was fun.
Oh my goodness. There's so okay, well, whoever's doing the IMDb they have to add all of these extra ones that you added, you told us about today. That's for sure.
And that
Oh,
got bumped. Yeah, that got bumped to my number 2. That's my number 2.
Wow. Okay. I heard about it when it came out, but I never did see it.
And it even has a little Wizard of Oz thread running through it too,
Ah,
because
wow,
it was it's supposed to be 1939 in Australia, and when the movie first came out, yeah, it's real. It's good on every level. It's just amazing. Yeah, I love that.
Oh man. Yeah, and Outcast Creative says the full cut of Australia is much better than the cinema release. Oh wow. And
you know what else? Retro Spaceballs. I worked on that, and that is one of my favorites too. That was yeah. I doubled Daphne Zuniga in the wedding dress, and I got to go and ride up in the space Mercedes. That was fun.
oh my goodness. There's so okay, well, whoever's doing the IMDb they have to add all of these extra ones that you added, you told us about today. That's for sure. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, we love that Spaceballs. It's so good.
Yeah, it's
Um,
hilarious. And it was crazy working for Mel Brooks. He's a very old school director. And normally the stunt people, we meet the director and explain what's going to go on and all that stuff. And this was the big wedding scene.
Yes.
And I hadn't met him, or I just was just standing there waiting to see what I needed to do. And all of a sudden he goes, sweetheart, yeah, you come here. I'm like, sweetheart, come here. Okay, it's Mel Brooks. All right.
Yeah, sweetheart.
Sweetheart, come here. I go, me? Yeah. It's so great. He was but he's no nonsense, but he's really funny and a good director, fun to work with.
Yeah. He's still to this day, he's just one of the greats. Outcast Creative Land says, who was your favorite stunt coordinator that you worked under and favorite actor that you doubled?
Well, I mentioned the 3 stunt coordinators that I really like: Dennis Madalone and Mike Cassidy and Mickey Gilbert. Yeah, they hired me a lot. I'm sure there's others. I'm sorry, guys, if I forget. Terry James, he hired me a lot. But yeah, those guys were very professional and very good. So, and the actress that I doubled, well, I'm going to say Angie Dickinson, but she was just such a pro. And I mentioned that earlier. Jill Clayburgh also, she was a pro. Very nice on the set. We talked about our kids and stuff, and very down to earth. I like doubling her. And Ann Jillian, you remember her?
I loved her.
Yeah, she was great. Another pro. I doubled her in a couple of things, actually. One TV movie with Tim Matheson, who I loved. He was one of our producers on Blind Fury. And yeah, she was very professional, very, very good too. I have a list. Oh, I had that list of the actresses I doubled, but I don't know. Take a glance. But yeah, those were kind of China Phillips. Yeah, we're still kind of pals. She lives here in Santa Barbara, and she is, the daughter of John and Michelle Phillips from the Mamas and Papas.
Yes.
And she has she became a Christian and has a channel called California Preaching. And and also Victoria Jackson is part of that too.
Oh, Victoria Jackson. Yes, who we saw in this movie just only briefly.
And I didn't even know I forgot she was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, actually.
Yeah, I mean, she was just there for a short moment. Frames and Rhythms has a nice question here. Let's see. What movie were you up for that didn't happen, that was and then was a great hit? Oh, so that you were possibly going to get the job and didn't get the job, but it ended up being a big hit.
Well, Back to the Future 3
Oh,
Yeah, but I was glad I didn't get that one. A stunt woman friend of mine, I can't remember her name right now. Cheryl. It was when they were going through the window on the skateboards,
okay.
and they were on cables, and as soon as they went through the window, the three of them, the special effects guy was supposed to cut the cables, and he did it too soon, and she fell on her face on concrete. Like that was one of the ones I call a passenger. You're
Yeah.
you're doing the stunt, but you're kind of a passenger. You're kind of helpless, and yeah, she was called me because she was working on another film, and then she called me back and said, she's available. So I just felt so bad for her.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And I was, happy I didn't do it, but because it would, it wasn't her fault,
Yeah. Yeah. You
that was
just. Oh man,
oh,
that's yeah.
Cheryl
That's.
Wheeler. Cheryl Wheeler. Sorry, Cheryl.
But I mean, that just puts everybody in the mindset of like this is why stunt
Yeah.
actors are really really important, and the reason why like actors can't do it, the reason they can't do it, but also there's somebody who's putting their face and their body on the
Hmm.
line for the stunt,
Yeah.
and just kind of like we should be very respectful of that. um and so like I love that we get to like if we're gonna appreciate a movie, we have to understand like what goes into it as well.
Oh,
So
and Speed was another one too.
Speed.
Yeah,
Oh,
I went on an audition they hired a lot of stunt people
mm.
in the bus. There,
Oh
as,
yeah, yeah,
as well as extras, and that would have been a great job because once you're established, you get weeks of work, just being there in the shot,
yeah. Mm.
not really having to do anything. But I went in there and they said, a woman's pushing a buggy in front of the bus. So how would you react? And I screamed at the top of my lungs. And the other stunt people in the waiting room, I walked out and they're looking at me. I said, nailed it. You can all go home,
Yeah.
and I didn't get it. So whatever.
Oh man.
That would have been a fun one to work on.
I think there's one more question I kind of have about like what would your experience seems to be on the most part really really good. What would you like, would you agree to that, like would you say that what would you say your experience in Hollywood and in the business during the time when you were working, what would you kind of say about that? Just
Yeah, I overall, like I said, being sort of in a protected little group of stunt people, kind of saved me from just being another blonde actress of 20 going out for a one-line part where the casting couch comes in, you know what I mean?
yes, yes, yes.
And because I had a, something they needed, a craft that
Hmm.
they needed. And so, I had pretty much a good experience, except for Paul Verhoeven. And and there was a couple of directors that were just not fun to work for, and I just couldn't wait till the job was over. But other than that, yeah, I had a pretty good experience.
Yes, yes. And Mark D with a C sums it up for all of us here. Thanks for answering all these questions and spending time with us. We're gonna head out
My
really
pleasure.
soon. Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean,
So glad you
we
guys hung out.
oh, we love you, and you're just so amazing. And like I said, all the stories that you tell us about the industry, and we're in awe. Like when we're watching a movie like this, we
Mm.
can say, I know that lady who did the stunts in here, and yeah, you've given us such a wonderful gift
Oh,
by
thank
sharing your
you so
story.
much. Gosh, it's
Yeah.
so much fun for me to tell them too. Um, yeah, I just, yeah, it's amazing how many stories I have, I mean, I worked for like 20 years. I had kids 20 years apart, as I said. And I was pregnant with my son when I worked on Baywatch. Just there's so many stories.
Oh wow. Yeah.
You know,
And when you just like throw that in there, like you worked on Baywatch, but that's like IMDb should have had that on there instead of some of the other ones.
Yeah, I'm surprised they have Bold and Beautiful because really they just show the films. They don't show TV or commercials.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's so weird, but at least they've gotten a lot more information, and they're, I think some of it half truths in there, so we can take it with a grain of salt there.
Yeah, my age is a half truth.
Yes.
I'm half that age.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, their information. Yeah, they really did some research for that.
I know they did.
But
there were so many other fun films, and like I said, the TV stuff, is other stories on its own,
yeah. You may have to write down all the TV shows that you've been on.
Yeah, because I was writing down the actresses. I'll try to do that.
Because
I have an old resume around here somewhere, and my Red Sonja picture, which if I find a copy, I'll send you.
I will also put that link again so you can see Stuntbrat in action in her Sizzle reel. It's a fun watch for sure. Let me just see if I can find it again.
It's 6 minutes, only 6 minutes. So
it's 6 minutes.
That was like our resume. We before everything was online, we'd just go around and find where they were filming, and most of our time was spent looking for work, to be perfectly honest. Doing the job was kind of the easy part, because I went out there almost every day, hit the pavement and passed out my picture and resume, and when I had a VHS of my stunt tape.
Yeah, I mean, because that's part of it, right? Like meeting new people who can get you access to like different shows or TV spots or any projects. It's also sort of like an insider's game, right? Like they're not just going to pick anyone. They've got to pick somebody they can trust.
So you try to go meet the stunt coordinator on that show, and they can see you, out of sight, out of mind, kind of, But if you go in person, the next week they may need, someone my size, and Jerry, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And especially if you're reliable, they're just gonna always pick you, So, I noticed, like, when you were going through your career, you were saying that the first 2 years, there wasn't a whole bunch, but as soon as like 88, 89, 90, you were working a lot those years.
Yeah, and I, just thank the dear Lord, because I was a single mom, but I think I was blessed to be the 5'7" blonde that just doubled a look, matched a lot of actresses. Linda Pearl, I doubled her one time too on a show called Viper.
Viper, yeah.
Yeah, it was a different Viper, though. It was a low budget film that I don't think ever came out.
Okay. I thought it was a TV show.
She was really nice. I mean, there's just so many that I forget, but I just want to shout out again to my stunt mentor, Walter Robles. I hope you're watching, darling. He's in a nursing home. He had a stroke. And also shout out to Dennis and Mike Cassidy and Mickey Gilbert, I think, has passed. And shout out to my bestie, Bill. Hi, Bill. Love you. And my sis. And my sis who showed up today, Pammy.
Yes. Thanks for joining us, everybody, as we had this really amazing chat with our friend Stuntbrat here. And we love you too. We all love you. And we'll see you guys real soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody. And just remember, give Jesus a chance. He loves you. And I do.
All right.
If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. share the video. Make sure you're subscribed for my next upload or live. And YouTube is so nice that they're going to suggest a video for you to watch. Please give it a watch. And remember to stay retro and stay nerdy. Bye.